Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna be doing my very first Storytime video, and I'm gonna tell you guys the story of how I'm now sort of engaged. Initially, I thought about making this video several months ago when it first kind of happened, because I just thought that the circumstances and how it happened and everything was so surreal that it would make an interesting and weirdly funny story. I just haven't made this video yet because I've been very unsure about when would be the right time to make it and post it, because while we are sort of engaged, we're not exactly very public about it yet. Not a lot of people know outside of our families and a couple of friends, really. So I wasn't really sure of when I should make this video, but I figure why not? And this week in particular has been a bit complicated for me because, as I've mentioned before, we are going to be moving back to Portugal very soon, and actually over the past week we've had my sister, my brother, and my grandma over, and it's just been a bit more hectic than usual and obviously a lot busier. So I had a video planned, and I purposely recorded 2 videos last week so that I could edit one of them last week before they arrived and edit one this week after they left. But unfortunately, a while ago I started trying to edit the video and realized that 95% of the footage was completely corrupted and there was just no image whatsoever. There was barely any sound. So obviously, to still have a video out this week, I was just trying to come up with videos that I could just do by myself, because I really don't feel like repeating the same thing that I spent an hour recording just a few days ago. And yeah, this is just a video that I've been wanting to do anyway. So me and my boyfriend have now been dating for a bit over 5 years. It was our 5-year anniversary while we were in the Dominican Republic, actually. And just a little bit before that trip, we were just talking about how a lot of his friends over the past 2-3 years have been getting married, and he just sort of came up with the idea that maybe we should get married this year. And I was kind of taken aback. At first I thought he meant it as a joke, honestly, because I just didn't see that coming at all. I was like, sure, why not? Let's do it, I guess. We have been together for a long time. We've been living together for over 2 years now, so we know each other really well. And yeah, that was basically it. There wasn't a proposal per se, and I still thought it was kind of a joke until he actually took me to a jewelry store to, well, tell him which rings I liked. And at that point I realized, okay, he's actually being kind of serious about this. So I picked out 3 to 4 rings that I really liked, and for the following months we both just tried to save a bit of money. And not that long ago he actually got me a ring. I wasn't there with him, so I don't know exactly which of the models he picked. So yeah, we now have an engagement ring, which I know exactly where it is, and that actually kind of bugs me every single day, because I go into the living room and it's just on top of some bookshelves that we have. It's in the bag of the jewelry store, and actually this past week with my grandma and brother and sister here, all 3 of them saw the ring and I didn't, because I'm not supposed to. And it just bugs me that every single day I have to look at the bag and not know what is inside exactly. And I've complained to my boyfriend many times that I would just like him to hide the bag or keep it out of my sight, but he doesn't. So that's that. The funniest part of this story is that everyone in my family knows we're engaged, but I didn't tell them exactly. Basically, when we were in the Dominican Republic, my boyfriend went out with my dad one morning to go to the seaside, and apparently while they were at the seaside, my boyfriend told my dad that he was thinking of getting married. And my dad took that as oh, you've already asked her and she's already said yes, and everything's kind of taken care of, so I'm just gonna tell everyone. And he literally came back into the house and told everyone inside that we were engaged. In my mind, we weren't. In my mind, we still sort of are. I don't know exactly. And obviously not everyone in my family came on that vacation, so I thought, okay, I didn't mean for all these people to know, but okay, I can still, tell this to everyone else in my own time. Except literally on the day that we landed in Portugal, it was Easter, and the whole family went out for dinner, and my dad just announced it to everyone again. And I was just kind of stunned and in shock and like, yeah, we're getting married. Thanks. It didn't really feel real yet, so it was bizarre. And we're still not quite at the peak of the ridiculousness that is this story. The most ridiculous thing is that my dad recently traveled very, very far, and he sent me a bunch of pictures on WhatsApp of just wedding dresses that he saw that he thought I might like. And I said, okay, I like this model, this one. And he bought me 2 wedding dresses, just bought them. And I haven't seen them in person. I haven't tried them. I don't know if they're my size. So in my opinion, that's the most ridiculous part of this whole story, and I haven't tried on any wedding dresses at all, not just the ones that he sent me pictures of, but I haven't even been to like a wedding dress store and tried anything on. And I have 2 wedding dresses. Why do I have 2? Who knows? But this year for me is turning out to be really crazy and life-changing because I've already traveled a fair bit. I'm moving back to Portugal, which is something that I'm both kind of nervous and excited about because as much as I really like the place where we are right now, I would like it to be a little bit bigger, and I would like to have a bit more room to put all my like recording equipment and stuff because it's a bit cramped as it is, and we've just been here for so long that honestly the place feels a bit cluttered to me because we both have a tendency to sort of collect things we're really passionate about, which in my case are sort of vintagey or designer clothes or items and just a general DVD collection. And in his case, it's more games for PS1, PS4, Super Nintendo, PC, stuff like that. We've just collected a lot of things over the past 2 years, especially because we're in the UK. These kinds of things are pretty easy to find, for cheap, so we end up buying a lot more than we would if we had been living in Portugal for these past 2-3 years. So I'm really looking forward to it, but obviously because it's such a big life change and because I've lived here for quite a long time, I'm really gonna miss this. I'm really gonna miss Northampton. I'm really gonna miss England overall. I really like the country. I love the amount of vegetarian food that I can have in comparison to Portugal, and the fact that the price difference between the meat version and the vegetarian one is almost nothing, and in Portugal it's 2 to 3 times the price. So I'm not looking forward to that. Food's gonna get expensive really fast, or I'm gonna be living on salads. But as I was saying, this year so far has already been pretty crazy, and we're still going to move to Portugal, which, again, big life change for both of us. Then we're going to go on the biggest trip I've ever been in my life, which is going to be a month and a half of non-stop traveling. We're gonna go to Asia, and I'm super, super excited about it because I've never been to an Asian country. I'm a big fan of K-pop, as you guys might know, and I'm just really excited to see how different that side of the world is. So I'm really looking forward to it, but it's going to be a heck of a long trip, and we're gonna get so sick of planes by the end of it. Probably by the middle of it, to be fair. And then supposedly, if everything goes right, because as I said, nothing's really set in stone yet, I think he'll probably try to propose during the trip because it will make it even more memorable, obviously. But by the time we get back, we only have about 2 months until the end of the year, so I'm really not sure if we're still going to be able to get married this year. Maybe, because the most that's been done regarding that is just sort of a picked date and the fact that I already have 2 wedding dresses. That's it. So I really don't know how it's gonna go, but I guess we'll see by the end of the year. And of course, after the wedding, we're supposed to go on a honeymoon somewhere else, and it's just gonna be a year really full of traveling. So that's the story of how I got engaged, I guess. I hope this was at least fairly interesting to you guys, since I've never done a video like this before. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.